Well, hey, Christy.
What's up, Kelly? Curly Sue Kelly with
I
those
know.
cute curls. Did you ever see the movie Curly Sue?
God,
Well, you
you're
wouldn't
gonna.
remember.
Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna start the podcast with this. We usually fall into that trap midway through, but yes, I
Sorry, but
probably have seen it. I mean, I'm familiar with the character, that and Little Orphan Annie. Though I ride those two polar sides and think, do I look like that? It's a bit crazy today. And the headphones are not helping. But for everyone who's listening, every single podcast, I have a sound issue. So today I was going to preemptively fix the sound issue by just wearing my headphones. And so here we are. Now it's
yes.
wrecking my hair.
Well, what they don't hear is before we record, when it takes 15 minutes for Kelly to figure out like how she can't hear me. And
Yes.
so I can always hear her, and I just sit here while she bumbles around. So Kelly, I appreciate the fact that you showed up prepared today, even though I was late.
Yeah,
But
that's okay. Today I was like, I'm not even going to have those shenanigans happen. I'm just going to be ready to rock and roll today. Here I am, ready with my crazy
Killing
curly hair.
Friday.
And Christy has her super long straight hair. I will say, Andrew, last week, two things, Christy. One, he loved that you didn't like take his side in the whole accidental iTunes $1,200 payments. But when you followed it by roasting me for my $200 pajamas, he was like, yes, Christy. And then the second part is he was like, wow, her hair has really grown long. It looks good. And I'm like, I'll let her know.
You did you say those are extensions, buddy?
Of course I did, but I wasn't going to just advertise that right here, right now. But yes, I did say, yes. Oh, I know. I said, she got extensions. They're great, right? He's like, oh, it looks great. So there you go.
I paid
I'm
for them.
full of good news for Christy today. I'm giving her only positive Friday vibes.
Good. I love positive Friday vibes. So we'll have to rip on somebody else. Who should we rip on?
Oh my God. I don't think there's anyone I need to rip on. Do you?
I mean, I always have someone to rip on. I'm recently divorced, but
Yeah, true. You're like,
we're not.
I'm trying to hold back the rippage. I have so many people.
I know. I think about what this podcast could be if I talked about those shenanigans. And then I'm like, yeah, no, let's just keep it above board as much as possible.
It's good to have the odd vent, though. You're like, I just need to get this out of my system a little bit. But you can't spend the whole time there, because if you can't fix it, you're just really wallowing at that point. You're like,
absolutely.
Can't
Some
change
people
it.
are like, how do you deal with it? I'm like, I just ignore it.
I ignore it, like my
if
Visa
you
bill.
can't change it, what's the point of getting pissed about it?
Exactly.
Is it going to change? It didn't change when we were married, so it probably is not going to change when we're divorced.
Yeah, it's probably not going to get better. There's a
No.
high likelihood of cloudy with a chance of meatballs. This is going to go to shit.
No. So anyways, but it's just a life lesson for me that I have learned over the course of my 47 years is if it's not something you can change, there's no point in being frustrated. Go work on the things you can affect.
Yeah, or influence.
The things that you can't, you just got to be like, well, I'm going to put my energy somewhere else.
Yep, let it go. Be like,
Let
is that
it go.
Elsa?
Let
Anna?
it
Whichever
go.
one of them, let it go.
Elsa.
Yep,
The one with the
there
really
you go.
long blonde hair.
Well, there you go.
Moi.
Just be like Elsa and let it go.
It's
But what was the Disney movie Brave and the girl had the curly hair? What was her name? Because I could be her.
Miranda.
Miranda. There you go.
Funny story
Elsa,
about
I am Miranda.
Perfect. Funny story about Miranda. Back when we took Presley to Disney when she was, oh gosh, she would have been about 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. So we took her, actually she's right about to turn 5. And we ended up taking her when there was supposed to be a massive hurricane. So all of the travel, and this is pre-COVID, all of the travel to Disney World got canceled. To it. So like everyone from Asia, Europe, like all over the US, people were afraid to come because of this impending hurricane. Well, I don't check the weather anyways. So
Hurricane schmurricane.
Well, also we were going down there. My ex, one of his best friends lives there, used to live there. And there was a Chiefs Jacksonville game. Anywho, so I took Presley to Disney and we went twice.
Did you drive there? So you weren't impacted by the flight?
Not. The hurricane never happened.
Oh, I see. It's just that people didn't plan, like people who would have come a long way were like, I'm not risking it. They stayed home.
Yeah, it didn't land where it was supposed to.
Gotcha.
So Disney was like empty. We sat on one
Draining.
ride and rode it like 5 different times. This all ties back to you. Presley was dressed as a Disney princess. One day she was
Okay.
Aurora, and the next day she was Ariel. And it was so freaking hot. But man, I was like, "Do you wanna change into your shorts and t-shirt now?" And she's like, "No," because everybody in the park called her princess.
Oof.
And
I'm gonna
yeah,
sweat through this plastic suit because I'm getting called a princess.
getting a rash from all the sequins. But what was really cool is pre-COVID, they had the characters out there, and usually you'd have to stand in line and wait. Well, my favorite character was Miranda from Brave because she was so like her character. She played it so well. And
Mm.
Presley, we of course had to eat at Cinderella's palace where the princesses all come around and talk to you at your table. And Presley was so excited. She's like, "Are you gonna be there?" It's not Miranda, it's Merida. Damn it. Sorry,
Merida.
guys.
Okay,
Merida.
Merida.
It's
Okay.
Merida.
I
Ugh.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know, which is like, it would have been nice to have
I
someone who
would
could correct me
correct
before I
you.
continued.
Isn't it better to just have someone who supports you?
I mean, when you sound like an absolute fool, no. That's when you need
Okay.
someone to, like, put their hands over your mouth and be like, "Stop talking right now," or text you and say, "Stop
Girl,
talking right now on
make
this
the
call."
words stop coming out
Make
of your
the
mouth.
anyways, but
Anyways,
Merida, of
Merida,
course, Presley's like, "Are you gonna be at dinner tomorrow night at Cinderella's palace?" And Merida's like, "No, dear. They don't look at me as a real princess yet." And she's like, "I'm not included in anything." And I was and Pres
spicy.
so spicy, and Presley's like, "That's mean. Are they mean girls?" And she's like, "Yeah, they are."
Those bitches won't invite me to dinner. The Disney reality show of the Disney princesses.
Oh my
Guess
gosh, I
what?
wish I could've go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, guess what? It's as bitchy as it is on any other reality series.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But
Nice.
anyways, I thought it was really funny because,
That is funny.
that's
That
funny
is
to me.
spicy. I love it.
I like spicy people. So,
I love
speaking
it.
of, what are we talking about today?
Well, so I'll tell you, the other day, it was quite a nice day, and I got to spend a bit of my break. I had like a lunch break. Oh, imagine. And I got to go, I went outside and I laid in the sun. It reminded me of my sabbatical year last year, just lounging around. But I have my big girl job. And I was like, oh, that felt really nice because now I work from home. I'm 100% remote. And previously, I was always in the office. And I thought, yeah, that's really nice. I really like this work from home. Then I came to me that as a Gen Xer and as someone who's spent a lot of years in sales, I can work from home no problem. And I am very, very effective. As a person who is very extroverted and a high I, if you do disc, me working in an office is a little distracting because I like to talk to people and how was your weekend? And how was your day? So I'm actually probably less productive in an office because I spend a lot of time reconnecting with people. And then I started wondering if maybe that's true for all the generations. Like, are Gen Zers as effective working from home as we are? Maybe not. And then how does this world work? So the topic is really Gen X specifically. We're kind of stuck between the boomer generation who went to work, stayed for 30 years, punched a clock, came home at 5, went back, left their work at home or left their work at work and came home. And then what we would say is probably the Zoomers, like the ones who are 100% online. I don't want to talk to real people. What do you mean I have to go into an office? Absolutely not. I won't accept your job. We're kind of stuck in the middle because we see the benefits of both. And so now we're very far from what our parents were, and we're not maybe wired to be exactly as connected as the Zoomers are. And I use Zoomer for Z, of course, but that's the episode premise, right? Like our parents did one thing. Gen Z wants to do these other things and has the ability now to do those things because of the way the world is. Thank you, COVID. We're kind of the not messy middle, but again, we're in the middle. We talked last week about the disappearing middle. We're not disappearing. We're here. We're keeping this shit afloat, but it's just very different from these two who we're raising and who raised us. That's kind of the premise. And who's right? I don't know. Everybody? Nobody? I'm not
Well,
sure.
I think, there's some generational tendencies for sure, but Kelly, like you, I'm a bit chatty. I don't know that anyone in my life knows that about me. So I'm actually much more productive at home, even though I take lots of breaks and do other things. And sometimes I just work from my bed because that's where I'm most comfortable. If I don't have any client meetings, I'm like, okay, or I'll even put the blur on the background and talk to my internal people. or just not be on camera, which I don't like to be because I think that's whatever, but some days, you just don't wanna fix your face.
Yeah.
So
Or you
anywho,
just wanna wear pajamas and it's Friday.
well, I
And you go
mean,
on camera anyways because 'cause they're cute pajamas. Can I have a
if it
quick
would have been
follow-up to that?
Christmas if it would have been
Listen, let's not get wrapped up in the pattern.
okay, alright.
Let's talk about the premise. I do wanna say, I have to admit, I let everybody at work now know, yeah, those were pajamas, and I got called out on it, both on the podcast and on my first female meeting, and so some folks did notice who were
Well,
male,
I hope your
and
bosses don't listen to this podcast. I'll just say, like,
for so
and
many reasons, I hope that's true.
oh my god. Oh my gosh. I would not that
However,
would
here's my pivot, Christy. I am trying to create a culture of authenticity, and so I authentically wore pajamas on Friday, and I'm trying to rebuild this whole Friday jammy day. We did it in school, so yeah, I wore pajamas, and that is the God's honest truth. And
well, I
so
always go
I've
ahead.
threatened them with octopus pajamas or my kitten spa jammies next. Stay tuned.
Like, I'll show up at a client meeting in those for those. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I always have a work mullet, like, it's always, like, a nice shirt on top. If I'm wearing a nice shirt, there's some crazy jammy pants underneath that, or even all kinds of different
You're like, this is
tomfoolery.
fake news.
Fake
This that you
news.
see here is totally fake. You're lucky if she has pants on. But this
I
is very
do wear
related.
pants, though. I do wear pants.
It's
So,
been
let's talk
really hot
about
this
what the
week.
wardrobe looked like growing up.
Oh my
Let's talk
God,
about work
yes.
wardrobes.
Yes, and we don't even have to go into like were women allowed to wear pants. Just in general, you would never wear anything related. Athleisure didn't even exist, but if it did, you would never wear that. Think Mad Men. Beautiful outfits, but God, to be stuck in that 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, all the time.
I mean, I love a guy in a suit, but
I
to have
do.
to wear a tie
A
all day,
tie
every
all
day,
day, and
I'm like,
it's casual to take your jacket off. That's what made it casual was taking your sweaty wool jacket off. Oy.
okay, funny story. Talking
Okay.
about and Haley's I think she's a cusp Gen Xer. She's a little younger than me, but I'm gonna claim her as a Gen X because she very much is similar to us. On her first day of work 22 years ago at the agency, she walked in, God bless her, with pantyhose on under her pants.
Under her pants. Oh
Under
my god.
pants. And my back was hurt at the time, so I'm in a sweatshirt, like, I'm in a hoodie. And this
Ugh.
was 22 years ago when a hoodie wasn't acceptable unless you were a
Yeah.
creative and, then you could wear a hoodie or whatever, flip-flops, whatever you wanted and smell like pot
Yeah.
all the time and no one gave a shit. But I'm not a creative, I'm the business side. So any hoozles. So I think, her mindset, I know her mindset coming into this was, "This is my big girl job. I'm showing up on the 28th floor of downtown Dallas Harwood Center. I gotta look this part." And she walks into my cube and I meet her in a freaking sweatshirt and I've had 2 hydrocodone that day. I bet I made and I looked at her and I was like, "Nice to meet you. Are those pantyhose?"
No, God. Similar to last Friday. Nice to see you. Happy are those pajamas?
Except for and I didn't know her, which I mean, I'm sure I
Yeah.
made her feel like an ass, but my apologies to Haley for what I did then. Also, I had a back issue, and at the time, you couldn't work from home because laptops were not I don't even think they were a thing yet. I think very few people had those ThinkPads maybe,
Yeah, I'm trying to
but
remember
I don't
when.
even know when laptops came out, but we certainly did not have them as junior, assistant media
No.
planners. And so I couldn't work Go ahead.
So I would just say I definitely had a laptop from the beginning of being in sales, and it may have been more related to what you just mentioned. Like you in your role wouldn't have had it because you work from an office, and so why would they invest in a laptop? But in sales, I had a laptop, so that started in '03. But I don't think I had a laptop when I worked in the hospital in a management role where I had an office. I had a desktop. So if I stayed home, working from home was almost impossible because really what you were doing is just only answering phone calls if there was something emergent. But yeah,
I
you
hate the phone now. It's so funny how
I
we've
used to wear a
changed.
pager. I used to wear a pager.
My god, I never had a pager. But going back to I just wanna close this loop
The
on
Haley Lupin.
The Haley
Pantyhose.
loop,
Yes.
the pantyhose. I'm really sorry, and I'd herniated 2 discs in my back, which I later had to have surgery for, but at the time, I couldn't work from home. And, like, also, you were expected to work, period. Like,
Mm,
when you're young at an agency, especially back in my day, like, you're a workhorse, like,
you're the
be there
grunt.
be there
Yeah.
at the beginning of the day before anyone else and leave after everyone else. Like, if it was 5:30 and your boss hadn't left yet, you better sit your ass there and wait. Anywho, but so, yeah, I was high on hydrocodone, so sorry about that, Millie.
Sorry, Haley. I'm curious though, Haley, please follow up with me and tell me, did after she said that, did you immediately go to the bathroom and remove your pantyhose and throw them into the garbage with much disdain? Like, fuck you. Throw your pantyhose away. Because if you are a woman and you have never taken off an article of clothing that you realized was a bad idea mid whatever event it was and chuck it unceremoniously in the bathroom, you're lying. Because I can tell you my first pair of Spanx, that's what happened to them. They
Do you
went in the
I've
garbage.
done the same thing with Spanx, like, "I'm gonna
Yeah.
wear these," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'd rather look
Yeah.
fat."
I'd rather look fat, and there's no way that I'm actually going to be able to walk out of the bathroom with these in my hand and put them in my purse, nor did I bring a purse, period. So what am I gonna do with it? These bitches are going in the bathroom garbage. I threw them out at a wedding because Andrew and I were dating. I don't even think I've ever told him this story. He and I were dating and I was in this black, like very fitted dress. So I thought, oh, I'll just wear these and it will just tighten everything up. And when we were sitting to dinner, he was just kind of like stroking my back or something. And then of course it has like like a strong waistband line. And he was kind of like, what underwear are you wearing? He was just questioning it. I don't even think he knew about Spanx. And so my very first opportunity to go to the bathroom, I did. And I threw them out. I'm like, I am not getting busted with these on.
Well, do
Of
you wear
course,
them
we're
now?
married now. We're married now, and so there's no more disillusionment about what it takes to look good in the silky dress. So it's like, here's my gear. You're welcome.
Now, I don't wear anything anymore, so but back in the day,
You mean
not the day
extra
that
underclothes? Not you don't wear any.
no, I mean, I don't wear Spanx. I barely I will if I have to wear pantyhose, like, okay. But I lived in Dallas, so, I mean, I wore, 3-inch heels to work almost every day, and I kind of loved it because I worked at an agency and everything was a freaking fashion statement.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah, so
I do love that when your colleagues are very fashion forward, and it's not a competition, but it kinda is, like, it's a fun, "What are you gonna wear to work today?" I do like that because I do like getting dressed up, but I don't like being
oh,
uncomfortable. Yeah.
I like getting dressed up, I just don't have to do it every single day.
Every or just have to do it. I want to choose to do it.
Opt in.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
opt
I'd
in.
like to opt in. Yes, now if, you ask me to wear hard pants and heels, I'll be like, "Opt out, please. Unsubscribe, no thank you."
Well, we've come
Speaking
a
on
long
behalf of my
way
feet.
We've come a long way with fabrics since the '80s and '90s and '70s, so good
Yeah.
for us.
I think
But
the other thing I would say that I think is different beyond just the wardrobe, like, back in the day, work-life balance ended and began at the front door of your house, right? Like, once you got work was behind you. "We'll see you tomorrow," or "See you Monday." And when you work from home, there is none because work is home. I am sitting in my same office right now with my 4 screens in front of me that I do all day. And so it's still here, present all the time. And then your phone, you can sign contracts on the beach on your phone, right? So you're never not at work, and that's hard.
well, what's funny, it's interesting though because at least for me and I'm older now, so you'd think I would have had less energy than I was in my early 20s, one would think. But anywho, when I was at work, I remember one night, same Haley and we were at work until like 9:30. And
Mm,
we just couldn't wait to get to happy hour, but we had to wait for these faxes to come through for insertion orders, which were for just
media placements.
media placements. And this is back when, I mean, I remember being on the phone with the Chicago Tribune and they were like, "We're going to give you added value on our website." And I'm like, "Yeah, except for your website gets no traffic. That's not added value. Can I have another page, please?" Right? Like this is how
It's
far
awesome.
back it was, right? Anyways, we're there till 9:30 and I just remember feeling drained out of my mind. And now I'll work till 9. I'll work till midnight sometimes because sometimes you have to. But I think the flexibility that working from home offers makes it less exhausting, at least for me.
Agreed. Agreed. If you can, here's what I love, especially in a job like both of ours where it is knowledge work, right? So you are
I
it
like to
makes
think so, Kelly.
I like to think I didn't say it was high class knowledge, it's just knowledge. I know stupid shit too. But point is, there are times when you get into a flow of creativity, and there are times when you can't force it. Like, I have this allocated between 10 and 11 a.m., and I'm going to write the most epic presentation ever. But it normally hits you at 10 p.m. And so when you have these types of jobs, when the mood hits, go with God, write that shit down. I was last weekend in the middle, and I don't do a lot of weekend stuff, but I had this like a of something that is coming in a month or two, and I thought, I need to get this down. And so I'm on my laptop and I'm like, tickety, 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 and you get so much done. And then I realized, what's great about this is that I am then going to take a chunk of time during the week and I don't have to do work shit because I just did it now. So I do like that. But I'm not sure every generation, or if you hadn't grown up in the previous version, I don't know how you know how to do that well during office hours in the new generation.
We'd have to ask them because I am very much a cluster worker. Like
Yeah.
I will go heads down on something forever and then be like la di da for 2 days
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
But which I mean that sounds terrible, but it's just how my brain works, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it helps me understand. So it was always fun. It's always funny to me because like our creative team, right? They come up with concepts and they come up with all kinds of different things. It's like, how did I had this one creative director one time back when I worked on Chrysler, and I would always ask him, like, "When are you gonna have concepts ready? I need to tell the client." Casey was my client at the time. Hi, Casey.
Hi, Casey.
And he's
How's the
like,
mullet? Anyways, well, I hope you still love it.
I think he's golfing in Arizona right now.
Of course he's
Anywho,
golfing
of
in
course he's
Arizona. It's
golfing. Of course he's
110 degrees there right now.
why not?
Please.
But it's dry heat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's dry heat. I'm just saying.
The
Anywho,
oven is dry.
man, me with the anywho's today. Can we like bleep those out?
I'm
I don't
keeping I like the any who's it's that you said earlier. I'm keeping that one in.
God help me. Back to whatever talk track I just
Go
had, I don't
on.
remember. Oh, so this man, he would say to me, "Christy, I don't know when the idea is gonna strike me." And I was like, "Okay, well, I mean,
Can it
let's
strike you before Tuesday at 5 p.m.?
please and thank you." But no, really, I have such respect for creatives because they have to constantly, and I guess their mind works different than ours. And not that I'm not creative, I'm just not a creative.
A creative.
I don't sit around all day and think of like, creative ways of storytelling. I'm more like, how do I write this strategy and pitch deck and proposal and all of those type of things versus and problem solving, but versus like, if I had to communicate this to X audience, how could we do it in a really cool different way
Yeah.
and
I
have it done by Friday? Thank you.
and still meet the deadline and customer expectations. I think it is interesting. I love and hate the constant availability in equal measure because it does afford you flexibility. And if it is in a role where you have to kind of think when the thought hits you, it's great. As a leader, though, there's a challenge in setting expectations. So you talked about a deadline. That is an expectation. There's still a deadline. But what types of things, when you are constantly available as a leader, what expectation are you maybe inadvertently setting? So here's a good example. If I send an email Saturday morning at 6 a.m., because I happen to be up Saturday morning thinking about the topic at 6 a.m., by sending that email, I am also somewhat setting a nonverbal expectation that my team should be on their work emails Saturdays, let alone 6 a.m. So you can say, please, what I do, and I don't know if it lands and they believe it, but I mean it. If I'm sending you messages at 6 a.m., it's because I'm up and thinking of it. I have no expectation of a reply, but I also send a schedule send, and I will schedule that bitch to
That's what
send
I was just
Monday
gonna
morning at 8 a.m. But
schedule send, spam
those are
everyone
the,
at 8 a.m.
yes. And those are the types of things as a leader, I think, especially in corporate, you have to think about those things and and probably do both. Verbalize it. because you're going to slip and one's going to go out, and then hold yourself to it, and then find other mechanisms to make it less so in their face. Because whether you say it or not, if you say, I don't mean it, like, I don't need you to reply, but they see it, they're still moving their brain into work mode on a Saturday just to see, oh shit, Kelly sent me a message. What's it about? Okay, I'll do that on Monday. But I still took your brain for a second out of Saturday morning mode. And I don't love that. So I'm kind of
Well,
like, ugh.
but here's where I'll push back on that. And
Hmm.
of course, I would have never done this when I was younger, right? Because you're earning your keep, your heads down, your work ethic, like all of those things, because you don't know anything, right?
Hmm.
You don't really know anything yet.
You're
You
like a
have zero
sponge.
experience.
I'll
So
do
like,
everything. I know nothing. What do you
yeah,
want?
like you need anything, I got you.
Yeah.
Coffee, like
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you need. Oh, you need me to get on a phone call. Although because when I first started, we were in the office. That didn't happen it didn't happen at all. But if I had been in a generation that had, kind of a more of a flexible schedule, work from home type of situation, I would have been online all the time. I will say that I have drawn some really hard boundaries. Like,
Mm,
I will shut off my email notifications on the weekends. Because here's the
yes.
thing, if it's an emergency, I will get a text or a phone call.
Yes. And if you don't know my number, it's not an emergency for me.
I'm
I
now removing my number from my email signature. Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah, that is in my cell number is in my email signature, and I've been roped a couple of times where I'm like, "Ooh, why are you calling me? Oh, how'd you get my number? Damn it. It was in my out of office signature." I was like, "That was a miss. That was on me. Don't do that."
Can't you just email me? I hate phone calls. Like but I used to love them. I don't understand where the shift happened. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, if I have to call to a doctor's office and make an appointment on the phone with someone, I get anxiety. I'm like, can't I just schedule it online? Like,
Yeah,
why
why
do we
do
have to
I
do
have to
this?
talk to a live person? But at the same time, when you have a challenge and you're trying to do it on a chat or email and you're like, "Can I just get a phone number to help just talk to somebody live, please? This is really pissing me off." So we do sit on both sides of it
That's
because at the
fair.
same time, there are lots of times where email, email, email. I'm like, can we just get on a Teams call and also turn your camera on? Because I fucking hate talking to the bubble. If you're talking to me, I don't care what you look like. I would like to make it feel like we're talking live to humans. So we are stuck in the middle.
I agree though, on when it comes to work stuff, like if it's gonna take more than 3 emails to get it, like let's
Yes.
just get on Zoom or Teams and have a freaking quick like a 30-second conversation. I mean, it's
Yes.
not that hard. I just when people call me, I just inherently feel like something's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's only emergencies where your phone rings these days. So, yeah, you're not calling me to say something super great. I know you're calling me with some shit. Or when somebody just teams you or texts you, do you have a second? Gross. It's never, hey, I want to tell you something super awesome. Do you have 30 seconds? It's like, hey, I have a minute? Gross. It's going to be shit.
well, it's funny that you say that though, because one of my work partners, he'll do that. And
Say,
he's
I have something cool to tell you?
no, he'll be like he'll text me and like, "Do you have a minute?" And I'm
Yes.
always like, "Shit." And I'll
Four.
this is what exactly I'm like, "4?" Right? He's like, "Or can you give me a quick call?" And I instantly go to, "I'm in trouble. I have screwed something up."
I
And
love
I
that
don't
your
know where that
default setting is you did something wrong.
I
You're like,
know,
what
and
did I do?
but I have started responding to him saying, "I'm only taking good news, so if this isn't good
Yeah.
news, I don't wanna talk about it. If you're
I'm
mad
not
at me."
accepting bad news
Also
on
also too, I think, it's one of those things with work, you like, wait 24 hours to address something. Like, if something like, don't let your emotions I mean, I'm a really passionate person, but I can detach from my emotions about something. Like, if someone does something and I'm just, like, so annoyed by it, like, when people don't think things through or you're like, "Google it," or ChatGPT, or, "I don't know that either. Go
Yeah,
figure it
go
out,"
figure it
right?
out.
Because I'm
Yeah.
not smart, but I'm resourceful. Like, I mean, I
Yeah,
wouldn't consider
you
me
are
a
s
genius. I'm
you are
just
smart, but you are
really
also more resourceful.
very
I have
resourceful.
to tell you again, everybody, Christy's probably the one who used ChatGPT more than anyone I knew, and this was a year and a half ago, and now I'm, like, in love with ChatGPT, so thank you, Christy. But the
Well,
other
Claude's all
day
the rage now, just so you
I
know.
know, but I'm not jumping. I have Claude, but I'm still like now chat knows so much about me and my speaking style and everything else. I'm like, I'm too vested into this. I can't now switch. Anyways,
Jack, I'll never let
you're mine. I haven't named you. I still call you chat, but that's fine.
That's a movie line from Titanic. One of the most
Was that when they were floating on the thing and she was and he was and then he died and yeah, okay. Thanks
yeah,
for
and then
that.
she let go
That's
of him.
twice. That's 2 in this podcast that she's roasted me.
But
1
but
right off the hop and right on schedule
right,
halfway through.
I'm just saying, Kelly, like, it's Titanic.
I
Like,
can guarantee you I've seen that movie. 1,000,000% sure I've seen it.
but the amount of memes and, like, content that,
Well,
like,
why am I
that
supposed to know the
song
line?
plays, and they're like, "I'll never let go." And also, my ChatGPT's name is Kit, after Knight
Kit.
Rider,
I was just
the
gonna say, is
car.
that Knight Rider?
But
Okay,
but
see, that one
now
I got.
I've decided it's a woman, so it's
Kitty
still
cat.
Kit. It's still
Kit
Kit,
Kat.
you know, I mean, you
I
wouldn't
think you
I
should
could
call it
give you
Kit
a
Kat.
movie reference that you won't get, but, there's a
By
couple of
chance, is
female
it about baseball?
well, it is, it's actually it's League of
Is
Their
it A League
Own.
of Their Own? I'm so excited that I knew
God!
that.
What just fucking happened?
Whoa! Somebody go buy a lottery ticket. The Matrix is breaking down. I got that one before Christy told me. I'm so excited.
I am shocked. So you would also
Listen,
understand if I said to you, "Use your head," you know that lump 3 feet above your ass?
okay, now you're really pushing it.
No, it's the same movie. It's
Listen, it's
Tom
good that
Hanks says it.
I know the movie. I was proud that I made a connection of a character's name to a movie, and now you're taking it next level and trying to, again, make me remember a movie line. What have we learned from this?
To have my sister Jenny on the podcast so that she can communicate with me.
Somebody Christy's like, "You don't even get me."
You don't understand me. You don't understand. Speaking of baseball, this has been a crazy week for sports and not baseball. Maybe baseball. I haven't really watched it. But talk about the Knicks.
What about the Knicks? What's
Oh
going
my
on?
God.
I'm not even watching. I'm,
They
like,
had the
ready for World
biggest
Cup. I'm not thinking basketball.
they had the biggest let me get this right. It was the biggest comeback. And they were playing the Spurs in the NBA finals. And they had in game 4, they had the biggest comeback in NBA finals history to win it.
To
Like
win the whole series or to win that particular game?
to win the championship.
What was the score that they came back from?
I don't remember. It was big though, because I also was watching it with Colton, who's like, let's watch basketball. Hey mom, look at
Okay.
this. Hey, da, da, da. And then I had to put him to bed somewhere in the middle. But it was pretty epic. It was pretty epic. Of course, you know, Taylor Swift was there and she got
I was just gonna say,
roasted.
I did see reels. She was wearing like a Stevie Nicks shirt, and then people were roasting her about that. But what was
No,
that about?
this one ESPN and a woman, which I'm like, come on, do better, please. Sportscaster made fun of Taylor being there because she's like, well, she's not a Knicks fan, but actually she is. If you look, she's been to plenty of Knicks games,
I
and
feel
there's
like I
also
saw her way more at basketball games than she was ever at football games, and then all of a
correct. She didn't
sudden,
understand
yeah,
football, but she lives in New York most of the time, I think.
yeah.
And she goes to a lot of games, and so but that doesn't even matter. It
Yeah,
doesn't
also who
matter.
yeah, you
Like
think that
there was
all those
2
the
rows of stars.
yeah, I
Pick
was
on
gonna say, you think
somebody
the
else.
Kardashians give a shit about basketball? No.
Well, but again, like, it's not well, Chloe did because she was married to Omar,
Well, she
so
would yeah, there's a reason that they're invested in basketball, but I mean, I don't think there's anything Taylor Swift can do right by anyone. Too fat, too skinny, wrong clothes, da da da, like, ugh, my
I love
god.
her. And I
I
will
know.
just say,
I know you do.
Tay, I'm so happy that you were at the game, and I loved the Stevie Nicks shirt. I loved the play on words. Also, your new song. Have you heard her new song?
What's it called?
Oh, crap. I knew I was gonna go right out of my head.
I
Shit.
probably have.
I knew it. I knew you, and she did it for Toy Story 5.
Okay,
And
I'm
she did
sure
it
I've heard it.
completely because she grew up on Toy Story. So she's so in love with the
Okay.
franchise that she's like, "Oh, you're coming out with a 5th film? Let me
I
write a song for it,
see,
and
this
you can
is
just have it."
this is a tale of me scrolling on Instagram blindly and not really desiring to double click and go down any research rabbit holes. I did see both that basketball clip with her, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know why you guys are all up in arms about this. And I went to the next one. And then I did see her on stage, and I can't remember his name, but he was singing the Toy Story, You've Got a Friend in Me theme. And so I was like, oh, I wonder why she's doing that. I've never thought about it any more than that. But now I'm like, oh, that's a great story. I probably should have done a little bit more soul
It's
searching into
it's
that.
a good it's a good thing I can keep you on track there.
It
Anywho,
is gotta keep me
we've
up with
lost
pop
the plot
culture.
once again.
We've lost
Once
well,
again. Shoot, what
Well,
are we
I do
talking
think
about?
we were
I
going to
thought we were
move
supposed to
into
make
like
fun of our parents. Weren't we supposed
we
to make
were.
fun of
Well,
our
I
parents in
mean,
this episode?
we weren't making fun of our parents, but we were saying, it used to be like this. And so maybe what we should do is do a bit of self-deprecation and like, why did Gen Zers think we're nutso? Because
Well,
I'm
it's
sure when they look at us, they're like, ew, I don't want to do that. You're crazy. Ew, you were at the office till 9:30. Also, pantyhose? No. So what is it? What do we want to do? Here, I'll give you an example. I know we talked about it on the podcast ages and ages ago, and it was around a mental health day.
God.
But and not that the topic is laughable, but like
It's not.
what Gen Xer ever even heard of a mental health day before Gen Zs got into the workplace?
Well, but I think though Gen Xers were the ones that inspired Gen Z. Gen Xers and millennials, right? Because you're skipping millennials, and we got to talk about them at some point. But
Sure, but
they're
I
their
mean,
own set of screwy,
they're
okay?
they're a little bit like us. Like we're post boomer screwy, and then we raised the Gen Zers who are now like the epitome of what we were raising. And then so the millennials are kind of stuck in the middle between us and the Gen Z. So they're us
Well,
in a
I
way.
mean, we're stuck in the world. We're stuck in between the boomers and everybody else. I mean, Gen X but Gen X is an interesting generation because we grew up with like no technology,
Mhm.
and then we
Adapted
start
all of it.
we quickly, right?
Yeah.
So we remember the world
Yeah.
before it, and but unlike, I mean, depends on the boomer, right? But most boomers, my mom struggles with technology. My dad wouldn't because he like invented, I mean, he was a computer programmer, worked for
Yeah.
MCI and
I
AT&T
mean,
and all the big
besides the
dogs.
the jail part.
Well, that was after he was an entrepreneur and made a shit ton of money, okay? But we're
Okay.
not going to talk about that because
The point is
I
he's very adaptable.
well, not really, and I would prefer not to get sued over this podcast, so
Okay.
the conversation around my dad is probably gotta stay because he would. My
Ixnay on
dad
the ad day.
okay, my dad has actually filed lawsuits against his kids. So,
Okay.
I
Moving
mean,
on. Let's
moving
go
on,
back.
let's not. We're not talking about that. So when you told me this whole idea about them being in the office or whatever, I was like, "Yeah, but, like, my dad was a pioneer in e-learning and, and he worked for
Mm,
himself." So, like, and my mom is a homemaker, period. But she
yeah.
wore pantyhose. She's
At home.
still at home,
I know.
at home.
God, can you imagine?
Listen,
Can you imagine?
by the time my dad got home, whatever time that was, because he worked like, I mean, he had 7 kids before he started his company. So he was working multiple jobs, like multiple 40-hour week jobs.
No.
Anyways, but Mary had dinner cooked, ready, and she was always perfectly
Dressed.
put together.
Yeah. No, I'm not getting dressed for my spouse coming home. I put on my nicest stretchy pants for you. You're welcome.
I put on the butt hugging ones. You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I
But yeah,
hate to
okay. So
admit
let's,
this.
well,
I hate
yes.
to admit this, but when I was married, because I worked from home, if I hadn't showered or didn't have makeup on, I would try to do that before my husband came home.
Sorry, Andrew. I cannot say the same.
Well, I don't think it didn't come out of a place of power, Kelly. It came out of a place of, God, please love me. Remember, I'm an Enneagram 2.
Yes, you're like, what can I
I
do to
have
make
to
you love
earn
me?
love. I have to
Oh,
constantly achieve
yes.
it. I can't just sit in it. So,
That's true.
anywho,
That's
I'm getting
true.
better at this.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so you mentioned something. So speaking of like Gen Xers, we didn't start with that. We learned everything. Let's talk about some of the archaic old school things that we did in our roles that just don't even exist. You mentioned one already. You fax stuff, which feels at the time was like revolutionary because it was just like so many leaps and bounds again, different from like what was the thing they used to send? Not a wire transfer, but it was like a wire. It was a message and it was like, burp, 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 and then it would print. Fuck. Thank you, menopause brain. What is it called?
I don't know. Some client,
Telegram. Telegram. Oh my
I
God.
never sent a telegram.
No, I know, but I mean, the fax was revolutionary compared to a telegram, and now we're like probably a decade away from just sending it through our brain without actually using technology. But what else? I wore a pager, which I had somebody talking about the other day, and they called it a phone. Like they were describing it, and they're like, "Yeah, my dad had it, and it was like a phone, but it would just show you the phone number, and so then that's it." And I'm like, Are you talking about a pager? Like, did it clip on their belt? It was just like a little square and it just said the number and it beeped. And they're like, yeah, yeah, that's not a phone, girl. That thing didn't do anything other than get your attention. Then you had to go to a phone. So I wore a pager from the hospital when I worked in the hospital. The good news was every time I got paged, I knew I was about to get paid for 4 hours. So I was like, cha-ching. Also, never good news if you work at a hospital and you wear a pager and you get paged. It's never like, hey, come in and say hi to this very nice person. It
There's
means
no
shit hit the fan, get in here.
Yeah, there's no, "I'm only open for good news today."
Yeah,
But, you
exactly.
know
Can you
what, I
imagine
did
though if you could? I work at a
do you remember the
hospital.
world before caller ID?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because none of our house phones, like the landlines we had on the wall, those things had no digital screen. So it was like a mystery and an adventure every time your phone rang. Who's it going to be? Good or bad? Don't know.
Well, now, I mean, I do not answer phone numbers I don't know.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
Unknown ID, no. And whoever created the little subcategory on your phone that says spam risk, I'm like, thank you so much. I feel zero shame in going ignore.
Well,
Spam risk. No thanks.
once I looked at my phone and I hate voicemails.
Hmm.
I'd rather talk to you than have a voicemail. But, I mean, seriously,
Leave me a
like,
message.
don't
We
leave me a
talked about
voicemail.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, no. And I think I even say it on my message. It says, "For faster responses, text me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't have time to talk to you, just text me, and then I'll see if it's important or worth my time. I lost the plot there. What were we talking about?
Caller ID.
Caller ID. Yeah, no. My one time I looked at my, voicemail and I had, like, 20 voicemails from numbers I didn't know, and my mom's like, "Doesn't that stress you out?" And I'm like, "No, because if it was important, they would have contacted me in multiple ways."
Yeah, they would have gotten back to me for sure. Did you, when you were in school, have the projectors where your teacher would put it on the like
Yeah.
projections,
Film?
the film?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you had to do a whole PowerPoint presentation, kiddos, and it was just on film that you put on a projector. And then you would like fuck it up and you have to erase it, just draw it again, and it would smear and then it was cloudy. Can you imagine if you
Do you
did pitches that way these days?
Oh my gosh, I'd go crazy. But also too, you can't have last minute changes. So,
No.
well, one thing that's really nice about that time was someone couldn't come in and be like, because this
Swoop in. Yeah.
swoop in and change everything at the last second. And I've
Yes.
had many people do that, and, many bosses that have done that, and then, like, you get on the presentation and you're like, "I don't even know what I'm saying because we changed everything."
Yeah, we changed so much.
But
We like
so,
to call that swoop and poop. And then you're
you
like,
remember
"I have to."
slides?
Yes, yes,
Like,
in
the
the little
roundabout ones?
carousel.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
My dad, his company, they use slides for presentations for their customers all the time, and they did the graphics though, because they were way ahead of their time. They did the graphics on computers and then they did
Transferred it over
something
to
with
the
film, or I don't even know how it worked, but it was really cool. But again, like, you better proof that thing. Like, that's too much stress for me because I can't spell, and I just don't imagine a world where, like, I have to, like, not be able to ever change that, or at least
Yeah.
in a timely fashion.
But at the and all of these examples we give, the good and the bad is the bad to that is that changes come right up to and including the very last second. And so it's great that we have the flexibility, but also, damn it, that just change it. And you're literally like walking into a presentation like on your left. You're the person walking with it on your in your hand, like change tickety tickety tick. Hope I didn't fuck that up.
Well, I'm notorious for doing things like I do presentations in my head and I think them through, and I will make last minute changes that just on my stuff usually. So, but again, like, it's not changing the whole idea. But I think in today's world, we get so much freaking information. Like, back in the day, it wasn't constant noise.
No,
Right,
yeah.
because now things can change, like, you can be walking into a presentation and, like, we work in the medical field, or some of my work is in the medical field, all of yours is. You be walking into and, like, the FDA announces something, and
Yeah,
it's like,
mega news came out just
now
now.
now what you were about to present, your competitor just kicked your ass, and it's like, "Wah, wah."
Well, I want to do over self-destruct on this.
We're we're the
Or
best,
yeah, you
but
say
as of
second
8:30 this
best.
morning, we're the second best? We have the second best technology. Could you imagine? I don't work in tech, but imagine being in tech and, like, tech sales and doing stuff like that with how much it changes.
Well,
Those
yeah,
people have to be losing it.
they're definitely not living in absolutes. We're like pretty good at this, like, and currently the best. Like, we know that we can use some phrases for a short window of time. The
To my
first,
knowledge.
new. Do you know, you get a 6-month window, you can say that, and then you can't use it anymore. But in tech, everything changes so quickly.
I
You'd be
know.
like, well, yesterday this was very relevant. Today it is bullshit. I don't know if I could live
To
like
the
that.
best of my knowledge, everything I'm about to present is accurate and true, to the best of
They
my knowledge,
they
at this
probably have that.
exact moment.
They have that at the bottom of every slide. Asterisk. The opinions expressed during this presentation were effective as of June 11th, and they may not necessarily reflect the
My
current truth.
god. It
Can you
does change
imagine?
so fast.
It does change so fast.
That's
And
scary.
I guess
And
we
even
shouldn't be
AI.
surprised. What's that? Sorry?
And even AI, I mean, I'm a big
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a proponent of it. I use it, and when I first saw it, I was an early adapter because I was like, "This is changing everything." Right?
We Let me go
So I
back to
got
this. So we started talking about AI, and then we went down Kit, and then we went to movies, and then we totally lost it. I wanna come back because you just reminded me. My story was this around ChatGPT. I didn't know that I was actually going to start using ChatGPT for emotional regulation, but here we are. There was
it's my
a
hair.
moment where my previous tenants were on my last nerve still because it's still owe me money. And so they had replied in a certain way on an email. And I was like, I need to like take this storm of rah and I need to condense it into a very business-like email. So I used my friend chat and I talked to text instead of typing it all. And I'm like, here's the situation. And then they did this and they didn't do that and they forgot this and blah, 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 and I want to send a letter. She said, Chat GPT talked me off the ledge and was like, okay, you're not going to send that message. Here's what we're doing. You are remaining professional and factual, and they are the ones who are remaining emotional, making promises and not delivering. So if you need to send a message, here's what I recommend. And he completely talked me off a ledge. And I'm like, well, look at that. I didn't know I was going to use ChatGPT for this, but I felt better just having like verbalized it. And then Chat's, sanity checking me was like, very well appreciated. Thank you, Gen AI, for that
Well,
function.
one of the things, so a lot of my job, this is gonna sound terrible, is holding people accountable, right? Clients
Yeah.
accountable to a scope of work, people I work with, whatever. And so I used to spend so much time, like, trying to perfectly craft how to say, "Go fuck yourself," without actually saying it,
But I
right?
want them to kind of know that's what I
But I
mean.
want them to know that I am smiling, and in my eyes, it says, "Go fuck yourself, you're crazy." Right? So, like, and I've actually put that prompt in there. I've
Great.
been like, "Make this friendly, but
A
also call
friendly
them
fuck
on their
you.
bullshit." Yeah, a friendly fuck you. Like,
Well, I mean, that
with
would be
all
our
due
great
respect,
with all due respect. Here's what I wonder though. Let's go back to Gen X versus millennials and or maybe not millennials. I'm going to group them with us in this one and then we'll put Gen Z and alphas on the other side. Where we do have chat GPT and other things like that to help us with that. You have the emotional intelligence to say, this is what I want to do. I know I can't do that. So help me do it in a way that it doesn't look like that, but I want, make no mistake, there's accountability and hold them accountable. Help me write this in the most professional way. I'm not sure that the younger generation knows to put the context behind it because they haven't got the experience to put the context behind it, right? They might just be like, write an email to blah, blah, blah. I love this experience that we have having lived in the Stone Ages and come through all of this because we know what we want. I want to bang them on the head with a brick. Can you help me put that in a professional way? I don't know that the younger generations necessarily are as adapted.
write me a breakup script
Yeah,
for this person.
exactly.
Here's the
I
context.
Here's the
Make
context.
them not feel like it's them, but do not
Exactly.
ever say, "It's not you, it's me."
And yeah, and also take no responsibility because it definitely wasn't me.
Right? Oh my gosh, this is again, it's like, I don't know. My seat is creaking. Can you hear that?
Hey, where's your WD-40? I know
Hold
it's right
on.
there.
It's time for my WD-40 fix.
It's been a while, folks, but she's still got it and she's ready to use it.
So I was at Colton's baseball game last night and I have one of those chairs that rocks.
I love
Starts
those lawn
I
chairs.
do too, but it
I
starts
know.
squeaking on me.
Oh,
Just
no. Do you have travel
where's my
WD-40?
WD-40? No, I do not. I just have it on my desk.
You need some in the back of the car just in case, you never
I
know.
need a whole bag of things in the back of my car, but right now in the back of my car, I have, like, multiple types of seats, right? Whether it's a volleyball game or a baseball game or a soccer game, whether it's
Yeah.
sunny, I have one with a canopy, like, my entire, like, back hatch is just chairs.
We
And
had
a
a
Glen
Thule
and a
box that
Glinda
was just your
and a Glinda costume, which I don't know
well,
why
you
that's
never
still in
know.
there. You
You
just never know
never
when you're gonna
know
have
when you're
to
gonna
be
need it.
Glinda the Good Witch. Actually, I meant to return the costume and I never did, and it
It's kind of like when you take your clothes and you're going to take them to Amity and you put them in a bag and you put them in the back and it's like, "See you in 8 months. I'm never gonna drop you off to thrift
oh,
store."
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. I was gonna have a garage sale, but that seems like a whole lot of work, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it
Facebook
is.
Marketplace." There's a big change, right? When I was young,
Right?
we're young.
You just reminded me, shit, I put some things on Facebook Marketplace. It doesn't send me notifications because I don't want it to, because then you're just gonna ping, ping too many notifications, but I have to remember to go in and check it. So I'm gonna have to go
Need
in
to go
and check
check
it.
it. I just pulled I was I shouldn't think I should say this, but I'm gonna. So I was I will sell my engagement ring because I don't want it. And I
Yes.
put it on the Real Real. Have you
Well,
been on
okay,
there?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've seen it and I have a girlfriend who uses it quite a bit.
Well, so here's the kicker on that one. The way they photographed it, it doesn't do it any justice and it hasn't sold. So I'm having it sent back to me and I'm just going to take it to the pawn shop or put it on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know. Cause I
It's
didn't
a
want
c
it on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace because it's like, should I be selling this? I'm like, absolutely, I should be selling it. Keep it for your kids. No, it's cursed.
I mean, I kept mine for my son so that he could use it to sell it, repurpose the diamonds, do whatever in his next life when he was planning to get engaged. I said, "Hey, I saved this for you."
Well, you're a better person than me, Kelly, but we already knew that.
It was more that I was like but I remember feeling just like you. I'm like, "I could sell this, I could do whatever to it. What do I do with it?" But I was like and most of it was for a lot of years just bred from the fact that I hadn't kind of forgot about it. And I was like, "Oh, shit, I still have this." And then I was like, "Actually, Brady was made because of this marriage, and maybe it will be special to him, though it's not special to me." And so anyways, I
So it not
mean, you do
selling is
you.
basically you
It
telling
might
me
be the
that
universe
it's
saying, "You
God
should take it
saying,
back."
"Christy, stop being so freaking petty." But I will
Maybe.
have to say, I have a
Yes.
new line. So have you seen Devil Wears Prada 2 yet?
No, is it good?
It is, you have to not think like, my daughter Presley liked it better than the first one, and
Okay.
here's what she liked better about it. Remind me to get to this line because it's great. She liked that there was no boyfriend holding her back and making her feel bad.
I also like that then.
I
Okay.
was like,
And also I love that
"Yeah, I'm doing a
Presley
good job.
I
Hell
was
to
like,
the yeah,
I love
girl."
that Presley noticed that and recognized that it was liberation
She literally that's what she had to say. She I like it better than the first one because she didn't have that, like, annoying boyfriend who was constantly,
holding
like,
her
trying to
back.
hold her back, and I was like,
I love it.
"I have done my job, folks. We are done."
Uh-huh.
You can
Yep.
also
Crushing it.
well, there's more nonsense with Presley and her budget, but one of the characters says this. As she's trying to calm herself down, she says, "May the bridges I burn light my way." Was like, that is a genius line. "May the bridges I burn light my
Light
way."
my way. You should
Because they
maybe
say
just
never
put
burn
it on a sticky note and put it on your computer just
I'm
to
gonna
remember.
just but because it's just, it's amazing that people are like, "Don't ever burn a bridge," and I'm like, "Yeah, but there's some just like torch that bitch."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there certainly on some fronts, I'm just like, "Yeah, let's let this bitch burn."
Like,
And
"Bye."
I have no more risk in this, let's just let it go. I know
Okay,
you Chrissy actually
I
has
have
a
to
hard
go.
stop for her big girl job, but I did so today, listen, if we had to summarize kinda who has it right as it relates to work and the reality, I think that our boomers really all valued the commitment, right? You get a job, you put into a pension, you stay there for 30 years, you retire from that, you jump jobs, oh my god, what's wrong with you? So I think their love language was commitment when it came to work.
Agree, but here's the deal. the company's committed to them too.
Ooh, fair. That's a very, very fair
So you
statement. Yes, it
can't
was mutual commitment.
it
Yes.
was a mutual thing. Now, like, you could be the best performer ever, but you're just a number on somebody's spreadsheet, which is
Yeah,
really sad to
that
me.
is really sad. And I think that's probably why I would say what Gen Xers value is resilience, and you need it because you need to be resilient enough to start in the dark ages and now be using TikTok to advertise, excuse me, to be advertising and things like that. So we created resilience when we had to adapt to everything changing, but at the same time, yeah, the ethos of our employers also changed, so we have to be adaptable and resilient. So I would say that's probably what I notice. And then millennials, especially because they were really entering into bigger jobs during COVID, I would say flexibility is what they want the most, right? They do not necessarily value salaries as much as they value paid time off or the
Well,
ability to work from home.
this is could be a whole other podcast, Kelly, because you just opened a can of worms there.
Good. We have
'Cause
content for next week.
but, well, we'll take a break from work, but
Okay.
one of the things that I just said that like we're gonna freaking do it, but we're gonna stick to a topic we never do. I think that is work-life balance, right? So
Well, the flexibility,
the
yes, you're right.
flexibility, and I think that one of the places, at least, that I love about millennials and Gen Z is they're moving towards experience.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
life is
Experiences
meant to
over
be
things.
lived.
Yes, you're
They
right.
don't they don't they don't work to live. I mean, they don't live to work, they work to live,
Yeah, I would
which
agree with
I
you.
think is a great pivot.
I do. I agree. And we should take credit for that because we raised them. So you're welcome. And then I think we're raising the Gen Zs and some of the millennials because if you were Christy and your parents had 9, definitely one of your Gen X siblings was raising you because your parents
Oh,
weren't.
yeah.
And then
Hey, listen, Mary got her feelings hurt, so we can't talk about it anymore, okay?
not you, Mary, in particular,
Well,
everybody else.
since she's moved in with me, she hasn't listened to our podcast because she can't get it on the TV, and then I just need to set it up for her. But I'm
Well, I
like,
was like, we should
"Also,
just watch it
mom,
on YouTube.
you can." She's a boomer, okay? Like,
Okay. You need to do that for your mom.
I will,
She's
but
got
it
so
needs
many
to
episodes, and my apology to her to catch up to.
well, I did show her that, but
Okay.
I'm gonna be in Minneapolis next week for Presley's, national volleyball
Oh,
tournament,
you
and
definitely
mom's
need to
like,
get her set it.
"Before you," she said this morning, "Before you leave
Go do that.
to do this," and I was like,
Y
"Mom, you used to miss me and listen to my podcast, now you see me all of the time. Don't you have enough of me?"
Maybe it's me she misses.
Great, Kelly, awesome. It's you she misses. Well, I do have to go. It's been lovely
Okay.
talking to you, darling,
I
and
love talking with you.
I love talking to you too. I would wish we could do this just nonstop because we
We
could
should.
never
This
would
is that's the ult that would be the ultimate pivot. Let's make it happen, everybody. But for now, if you're Gen X and you're stuck between the boomers and the zoomers, go find some shit to do this week and have fun. Make it an experience. Take it from the zoomers and then, I don't know, do something old school.
that
Phone a
was
friend.
that was
I don't know
okay.
how to segue
I
out of this.
I don't you
Okay.
know what? Here's
Like,
what I'm
follow,
gonna say.
share.
Hey, like, follow, share, and goodbye until next time, and I'm just gonna stop the recording.